Good morning, everybody. It is May 19th, 2023. It is Friday. My phone says it is 4:53 in the morning. My watch says it is 4:55 in the morning. Okay, this is a dream that I just had. I had a dream that I traveled to Chicago and it's funny that I picked out this beanie. This is Chicago Bulls beanie to wear when telling you this dream. My family, there's some of my family that live in Chicago, near Chicago, in like the suburbs of Chicago. Well, I went to visit them. Me and my mom went to visit them, and which is surprising because my mom, the last time I asked her if she wanted to visit them, she said no. But in the dream, we visited me and my mom, and she like packed a bag, and we were like gonna stay the night and everything. And I got there, and I don't remember traveling up there, but I remember I was asleep. I was really tired, and I was laying on the couch or something. I was laying on something, and I was on my side, and I woke up, and there were these people. There were so many people in the house, and their house has always been a big house and stuff like that. But we were like in this really, really, really big house, and there were tons and tons of people in it, and they were just sitting around talking and doing all sorts of stuff. Well, there were these people sitting on the floor like I am. I'm sitting on the floor. And there was this one lady. I remember there was this woman and men. They were sitting on the floor, and they were sitting Indian style. And somebody asked where my grandpa was, and I think they were talking about my grandpa Paxton, which was odd because I was at the Roan family's house, or somebody's house that had to do with the Roan. I thought it was um, the Roan family's house, and Mark and Aunt Diane and uh, Rachel and everybody, Jeremy and Jason, and I'm gonna get to that later. And so anyway, um, they asked where my grandpa was, and I was like, he died. And they were like, oh, we're so sorry. And I was like crying and a little, and like this woman, she like, I was like, I sort of like crawled over to this woman because she was sitting on the floor, and I was asleep, and she just like held me. She just like hugged me, and she just like held me, and she was just like so nice to me. And then I went to get up off of her lap. I was like sitting on her lap, and she was like holding me and like hugging me. And then I went to get up off her lap, and there was a woman sitting next to her, and I heard her say something, and then I was like, huh? I was like, did I hear what I think I just heard? And she said, you're going to hell. And I was like, and I bent over and I go, I know I'm going to hell. I was like, I've already told myself that I'm going to hell. And she didn't say anything else, and I just walked away. And in the dream, I was like wondering where all these people, I was wondering where Jeremy and Jason were. And for some reason, it didn't occur to me that Jeremy was dead. Jeremy's my cousin. He killed himself. And Jeremy Roan. And for some reason, I was waiting to see them for some reason, and I didn't. I didn't see them in the living room, or at least I don't think I saw them in the living room. I might have saw them and I didn't recognize them or something. I have no idea, but I got up and I started walking around the house, and there were just people in every part of this house. This house was so huge. Sorry, I got something in my eye. And I was walking around this house, and then my mom was in the dream, and there was like so many people, and she was like, and I walked outside, and I was outside all of a sudden, and we were doing something, and she was like, well, I'm sorry that I packed a bag, and I was like, huh? So evidently we were like staying the night or something. And then like my mom started acting like totally different. And it was like she was like her younger self or something. And I started thinking that in the dream. I thought, I wonder, since she's here in Chicago, I wonder if she's going to start acting like somebody else. And then all of a sudden she did. And she started acting like her younger self. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, my mom is like young again. I was like, this is so cool. And so then we went back into the house, and then I went like there was like down into like the basement or something of the house, or some lower floor or something. These people thought that I was like a fireman or something. Maybe it was because I saw a fire truck yesterday. I have no idea. But as we were coming back from Southwestern, Jeremy and I saw a fire truck. And the guy I live with, Jeremy Cullum. And so, anyway, um, they evidently thought I was a fireman. So I went down there, and I was like walking down these steps, and I was just like walking around the house, just like checking things out and stuff like that. And there was like all this water in the bottom of the house. And then all of a sudden, evidently, I came back, and I must have passed out or something, because I went to sleep, but I don't remember passing out. It was just like I was standing up and walking back towards to go back up into the um, other part of the house. And then all of a sudden I was laying on this um, like gurney thing, but it wasn't a gurney, and it was like colored. It was like red, white, and blue, and evidently, and I was like asleep or something. I wasn't like it wasn't like I passed out, but it seemed like I had passed out. And I just got back up, and I was like, I was like, what the heck just happened? And then so then I got back up, and I just started walking, and then I walked into another room, and there were all these kids in this room, and there was a woman, and she was drawing, and they were playing a game. It was like Pictionary. I remember whenever I was younger, I used to play Pictionary. It's a fun game. And there was this guy dressed up like a captain of like a sailor ship or something, like one of those sea captains or something like that. And then there was like a crab, and I was thinking of SpongeBob SquarePants, and I was like, SpongeBob SquarePants, and so I started singing the song, Who Lives in a Pineapple Under the Sea? SpongeBob SquarePants. And I was like the captain of the whoever that is, and SpongeBob SquarePants, and because the lady turned around and she was like, "Do you know who this is?" And I just started singing the SpongeBob SquarePants song because I saw the crab. And but I think it was somebody else. There was a crab, and then it was like a crab. It wasn't oh, the guy, what is his name? On SpongeBob SquarePants, that Krabby Patties and and all that stuff. He sells Krabby Patties. I forgot who he was. But, uh, but anyway, I think it was another guy. I think it was, oh, I think I know who it is. I think it was the guy who, said, I'm just remembering, at the beginning of the show, whenever they're singing the song, there's like a literal guy, there's like a real guy, and he's dressed up in like this blue suit with these, those gold buttons all the way down, and he's got like a pirate hat on, and they're singing that song. I think that's who it was. It was that guy, but he was drawn, and I forgot who that was. But anyway, and then I walked back up into another part of the house, and like I said, there was like tons of people in like every room of the house, like literally like every room in the house. There was tons of people. And I walked in and I was like, oh, I should probably eat something. So I was wondering if I could get something to eat. So there were all these people sitting in the kitchen, and it was like they had people specifically in the kitchen just to like make food and stuff. So there were, I went to ask if I could have, I was like, can I have, and whenever I said that, there was a girl that stood up and she's like, I want this one. And I was like, okay. There was like potatoes, and some of them were like really big. They were like baked potatoes, and some of them were really big, and some of them were a little smaller. And I chose the smaller one, and they looked like they had like grapes in them, or like peppers, like some kind of peppers, but the peppers looked like grapes. They were like really, really, really green. And I was like, potatoes with grapes. And then all of a sudden I started to wake up, and like I knew that I was like dreaming. And I was like, what the heck? And then I couldn't breathe. I was like evidently not able to breathe through my nose. Evidently while I was asleep. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, what in the heck? I was like, what in the heck? What in the heck? What in the heck? And so I got up and I have Vicks Vapor Rub. Well, my grandpa Roan used to swear by this stuff, and he is right. This stuff works. Vicks Vapor Rub. It's a rub. You put it. It's like a something, and you rub it on your chest. And I have some. I rubbed it on my chest, and I put it literally like on my nose. And it clears it right up, and you can breathe. This stuff works. I have no idea what else it works on, but if it works for that as well as it does, I could just imagine like if it would work for anything else. But he used to swear by it, and it works. Okay, so my battery is getting low. It is at 15%. So that is all for this video. That's all for the dream. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this content, like this video and comment below. Thank you for watching.